Every year, May 25th circles around on the calendar. To understand the trajectory of modern global economics, we have to look back at what actually happened on that day to anchor a movement for political liberation. By the early 1960s, a grassroots energy was sweeping across the continent. Citizens in dozens of nations were actively dismantling colonial structures and demanding complete, immediate independence. That momentum required a formal framework. In 1963, leaders from 32 newly independent states gathered to channel that energy into institutional power, establishing the Organization of African Unity. Those early summits secured a necessary baseline of political coordination. However, true sovereignty requires owning the stories told about your economy and your future. In the decades following independence, a structural gap emerged. Without strong internal channels to broadcast their own realities, the continent's stories were overwhelmingly authored by external observers. When foreign institutions control the narrative, the lens naturally distorts. The focus shifted away from investment opportunities and structural growth, getting trapped instead in a cycle of deficits that systematically depressed global investment confidence. The result was a breakdown in equitable business dynamics. The global corporate community formed the habit of speaking about African nations rather than collaborating with them as equal partners. It is impossible to build a thriving modern economy if someone else is defining your baseline reality. Today, that dynamic is fracturing. Modern African leaders and executives are reclaiming narrative sovereignty by wielding storytelling as a core corporate strategy. They are bringing authentic, internally generated narratives directly into global boardrooms. By articulating their own market realities and unique value propositions, they are securing mutual respect and structuring more equitable partnerships. These are not isolated victories in closed-door meetings. When one leader successfully repositions their company's story, the success sets a standard that resonates across borders. The digital economy acts as the accelerant. By bypassing traditional media gatekeepers, these self-authored business stories are now broadcast globally, in real time. The old model of isolated regional markets has been replaced by a deeply interconnected digital ecosystem where narrative reach influences market share. Narrative control has moved beyond a soft skill. It is a foundational mechanism for securing capital and expanding market share. The shift in corporate narrative mirrors the physical and political transformation within continental institutions. Compare the foundational meetings of 1963 with the physical realities of today. We now see sweeping, modern infrastructure built specifically to house a unified agenda. Inside these walls, the focus has shifted. This is where comprehensive Pan-African economic policies, trade agreements, and political strategies are actively negotiated and implemented. Modern unity manifests through aggressive entrepreneurial collaboration and cohesive economic narratives. Behind those high-level policies are millions of individual, human-centered business stories, founders, developers, and creators whose daily successes legitimize that institutional framework. The ambition of 1963 has matured into a proactive hub for global innovation, sustained by the cumulative weight of individual successes. Africa Day signals an impending future state. When a market of over 1 billion people takes full ownership of its narrative, the global dynamic shifts. The continent takes its place as a primary author of the global economy. This united, confident voice introduces essential new frameworks and vital perspectives to global challenges like climate adaptation, supply chain resilience, and technological integration. A self-authored Africa elevates the global community, introducing vital innovation and fresh perspectives to shared challenges. Ultimately, the systems that govern our markets and our politics are built out of the narratives we choose to project. You must own your story. Lead the future. Discover how you can shape your narrative and drive change. Visit storytellingandleadership.com today.